My guest on today's podcast is Ecem. Ecem's an English teacher here at the American Cultural College. We've covered a lot of topics on Didim TV on our podcasts, from lifestyle to property to cuisine to healthcare to finances, but we have yet to really delve into the education system here in Turkey, in Didim Altinkum. We've had many people contact us, send us emails, asking about the level of education, details, information. So it's a great podcast today, talking all things education from a parent's point of view, from a student's point of view, especially new students coming to the area, which can be quite daunting, and as you can see, from a teacher's point of view. So enjoy this episode.
Hello, my name is Ecem. I'm an English teacher, and this is our classroom. Hello again. In this room, our students perform English activities to their parents at the end of their year.
Ecem, how are you doing? We are here at the American Cultural College. I think this is your first ever podcast, so I'm really excited about this. I think you have an equal amount of nerves and excitement coming into this, so I'm really pleased that you've taken the time here today. We have a lot of viewers. We've discussed everything from healthcare to tourism to property to culture, and we've had a lot of interest in education within Turkey. So I'm really excited that we're able to talk about education with you here today. So you're a teacher here at the college, is that correct?
Yes, I'm an English teacher.
English teacher. And am I right in thinking the college is 2 years old and you've been here from the very start?
Exactly.
Okay, so what has that been like, being here at a new project, a brand new school, and helping develop this college that we're in today?
Well, this is like a home now, and first time I came in Didim, it wasn't 2 years ago, so I'm here from the starting, and that's all.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking there's 600 plus students, 650 students in the school approximately? Approximately. And what ages do your students arrive here and leave? So what from what age do they start school here?
From 3 years old.
3.
Now we have high school.
Okay.
So from there.
Okay, so real mix of ages. And is it just Turkish students, international students, a mix of both?
Mix.
Okay, a mix of both. What kind of nationalities do you have here at the college?
We have Russian students, Ukrainian students, English students, American students. Yeah.
Okay, and does that also reflect on the teachers here? Is it all the teachers Turkish, or do you have some foreign teachers as well at the college?
Well, we had some foreign teachers back last year,
Okay.
but now I think we're all Turkish.
Right, okay. And what kind of subjects are taught here? You're an English teacher.
Yeah.
What other subjects are covered here at the college?
In what sense?
Do you do like PE, physical education,
Yeah,
math,
of
science. Yes?
All of them. We have chess, horse riding, and tennis in physical education, basketball, volleyball, art lessons, well, very dense English lessons as well.
Okay. Interesting. So horse riding, that's not something that normally in the UK we have in school over there. Is that on site, or is that is that
Well,
next?
it's actually coming to Didim.
Okay.
Now it's in Söke,
Right.
in our other branch,
Okay.
but it's very popular.
I could imagine, yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, horse riding. That would be. We don't have that generally in the UK, our schools, so that would be certainly something different. What does it look like for a foreign student, a new foreign student, new to the area and signing up for the school? What is the process for a new student? What can a student expect and parents expect for their student, for their child arriving at the school?
Well, as I said before, we have many students from other countries, and when they arrive, the first thing we do is to adapt them, and we try to teach them some Turkish so that they feel comfortable.
Okay.
Even in daily language, in daily stuff, we teach them. And then we check their level of English. Now, currently, we don't have a private class for our international students, but we try to focus on them in our classroom according to their levels.
Right, okay. So would I be correct in thinking it's important to test and realise their levels as soon as possible, yeah?
Of course.
Okay. So you have a foreign student that speaks no Turkish. How does that look? Because I imagine that's happened on a number of occasions, right?
Of course. It happens many times. Well, at first they feel a bit insecure, but then actually we are surprised as well. They speak very fluently now.
Okay.
If not, they understand a lot and they can communicate.
How long, how often, and I know it's a very general question, but how long does it take for a student to attain a basic understanding of Turkish so they can then interact with other Turkish pupils? How long does that normally take? I guess that also determines on age, maybe?
On age, on personality as well, on family background as well. But normally in probably 3 months or less, they're able to communicate with other students because our students are very eager to communicate as well. They don't leave them alone, generally. They play games, they try to speak their language, whatever it is. They try to teach Turkish. And we have lots of students from overseas. So they communicate with one another as well. So it's a good thing.
That's lovely to hear, because I would imagine as a parent, and even as a child, you know, if you're coming to a new country and a new school, learning a new language, that can be a pretty scary scenario. So that's wonderful to hear that it's not just the teachers supporting, it's the children around as well. That's really, really great. Is the school at capacity with students at the moment? Has it got room to grow in terms of numbers?
Oh, yes.
It has, right? Okay.
It does.
That's interesting today. And how do people find the school? I mean, I've seen it on social media, so I know it's out there on social media. How does that look from overseas? Is it more that, I guess, people who are moving to the area look at the schools around? Because am I correct in thinking it's one of 2 private schools in the area? Okay. And generally, you call the kind of non-private, are these called state schools in the area? And there's a number of colleges, and do you have junior schools or call them high schools, nurseries? What does that look in terms of the age groups? Is there a junior school in Turkey? Do you have junior schools, or is it, what age do children go to school from after nursery?
6.
6. And is that till 14 or 16 till college?
16.
Till 16, so like the UK. And then is it 16 to 18 to college and further from there?
18, then we have college. Yes.
Yeah, and then university. So similar to the UK, actually. Very similar to... I think they start a little bit later than the UK. But yeah, the age is moving through are about right. So what is it like living in the area? Are you from Didim, Altinkum originally, or did you move to the area yourself?
I moved here myself.
Okay, so what was that like? I mean, we've spoke about students coming to maybe a new country, a new area. What was that like for yourself? And did you move here for the job to come to the school?
Well, I'm from Izmir.
Izmir.
Yes.
I do love Izmir. I do love Izmir. Alsancak,
Yeah.
Karşıyaka. I'm a big fan of Izmir.
It's a very nice city, but it's a bit crowded as well.
Yeah.
I moved here for my boyfriend originally. And when I first came here, it was all scary because Izmir is a very big city. It's very crowded. You have many people, but in winter, in Didim, it's very quiet. At first, in the first like 6 months, I thought that was fearful. I was very afraid of going out for a walk, doing some activities, but then I got used to it. And now it's like a peaceful place for me. I don't want to go to Izmir anymore. When I go there, I get anxiety.
I do hear that a lot. See, I go to Izmir and I feel energized because it's so busy and there's so many people. But I do hear a lot from people who are either still in Izmir or moved that is the opposite kind of. They feel there's too many people.
Exactly.
So I'm right in thinking there's 4.5 million people in Izmir, third largest city in Turkey behind Istanbul, Ankara. So we take 4.5 million in Izmir, and in Didim Altinkum, normally there's about 85,000, but in summer it increases to more than 1 million. So it's more than 10 times in summer, and you really see the difference. As you said, in winter it is very, very quiet. But you mentioned it, a calmness there. So yeah, living in Didim, certainly compared to Izmir is very different. Do you find that being a teacher, that kind of suits your work, your life? Having that quietness in the area to live in, certainly in winter, helps with being a teacher. Do you feel that energizes you? It's good for your job? Because I'm speaking because in England, I know teachers, it's quite a stressful job in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that here? Is it busy? Is it fun? Is it challenging, rewarding? How does your job look?
I think being a teacher is irrelevant to the atmosphere. I mean, of course, it's relevant to my personality and how I feel in the city I live. But being teacher is always, it can be very stressful, it can be really fun. It's up to your personality.
Okay. That's very, very true. Very true. What do you enjoy about being a teacher the most?
Well, I'm an English teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but I sometimes do feel like a class teacher.
Okay.
So I really enjoy touching my students, like emotionally, answering their questions because they're really eager to learn. And I see my childhood in them, and I don't want to leave their questions unanswered because I think that's very bad for their growth. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, I enjoy teaching English as well.
Okay. And what's your teaching style, would you say? What's your teaching style, or what's your favourite way of teaching?
I think it's called communicative style.
Mm-hmm.
I took CELTA and I learned that from there. I let the students speak most of the times. A teacher should not talk a lot in the classroom, and students should talk and they should participate more.
Okay.
And they should have fun. Sometimes they should be up, we should be out, and we should be going out. We should be having fun, but not all the time, of course. But it's not about me in the classroom. I should not be the leading character. I am the leading character, but I should not talk a lot, so I don't do that.
Interesting, right. So as a language teacher, it's not so much about talking, but would I be right in thinking it's about your students talking and engaging?
Because they get bored easily.
Yeah. And do you teach all ages within the college, so the age ranges, or do you have a specific age range?
From age 9 to 14.
9 to 14, okay. What do you find is the greatest challenge when it comes to teaching?
Let me think. I should think. Well, we have many challenges, but I think for me personally, I find it difficult to teach when my students are not eager to learn that day. And with summer coming, everybody's, I don't know, they don't want to learn anything. So I think that's a bit challenging because they want to talk all the time. And you want to have your lesson, you want to have your time with them as well. So you should really balance up the things, and it can be a little challenging.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine teaching is a challenging job, but I mean, it seems like a great environment to work into teaching. It's clearly a new building with a range of services. I mean, as I've been in, there's just kids playing all around the place, which is great to see. I mean, it's two-story building here? I mean, it seems like a very big building.
It is. It's
yeah.
big.
And do you have a sports hall? Because like in England, because we have such bad weather, most of the sports, certainly outside of summer, is generally taken inside. Oh. What's it like here? Is that quite the opposite because Turkey has such good weather? The activities are outside?
We have one outside, two outside and one upstairs.
Okay. And does the college have actual sports teams that play other?
Yeah, they do.
So they play other colleges, other schools. Okay, and because I'm a big sports fan. I was a sports leader in my time as one of my jobs. What would the college boast of having a strong team in a certain activity or sport? I mean, is it basketball, volleyball? What is the college strong at?
I think basketball and football right now.
Okay.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. I will definitely be asking more about that. The facilities look great. What are you excited about over the next kind of year ahead? You've been here 2 years. So going into your third year, what are you excited about looking forward? Because it's clear that the college is developing and progressing. It seems a very progressive environment. What can people expect over the next year as a college, but also, for yourself, what are you looking forward to in teaching here?
Well, when you ask me that, I only think about my students now, but I will think about the college as well. Well, we are always developing, as you said. Now, currently, we are changing our books. We are taking some of them out, and we are adding some more. We are trying to build a stronger preparation for the exam, for the 8th grade, for the high school. And other than that, every day we add more activities. In the first year, of course, we didn't have a lot of activities in our school. Then we added Arrow, and then we added, some teams, as you said. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We always go for competitions, and we do, for example, right now we have English nights. We perform English theaters. Each class do it, actually, from 3rd graders. Each class has their own night. And now we have many, many activities, actually. I can't follow, but we're always so active.
That's great. So is there a lot of activity outside of normal college hours?
Yes.
Right, okay, that's interesting. And as a teacher, what is the requirements or the demand on yourselves? Because I know in the UK, particularly like sports teachers, there's a lot of demand outside of normal working hours to run sports clubs, run sports teams, football clubs, football teams. What does that look like for you as a Turkish teacher?
Well, we don't work a lot out of our time here. If you mean that, we don't do it.
Is there a lot of marking time? Because again, in England, it's crazy the amount of hours teachers have to go at home and mark books and essays. There's a lot of hours. I think my friend's a teacher, and I think he said on average he's 11 or 12 hours marking time a week on top of his normal working hours.
Every week.
Every week. And I imagine there may be some teachers in England who are watching and listening thinking that that's nothing, and there's probably more so.
Really?
Yeah. What does that look like for you?
Well,
That seemed to surprise you, right?
Yes, I mean, we are not talking about university, so that surprises me a bit. Well, here we write essays as well, of course. We do writing sessions, speaking sessions, I don't know, listening sections, everything. But it doesn't take that much of time. Instead, we do more social activities. I can speak for English, but instead we do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, talking about kind of well, it's clear now that that's very different than the UK. What does your kind of holiday look like, amount of holidays a year? Because I know in the UK, teachers work that hard that they work because they know they've got kind of 6 weeks in the summer, they've got half-term weeks or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear it's a lot more for a teacher in Turkey.
We have 2 months for sure, and then half a month.
Is the 2 months in summer? Is that the summer period? Okay, 2 months in summer.
And then we have a break in March, I think,
Okay.
like 15 days of break.
Nice. And is there a month in winter as well? Have I?
Not a month, but maybe 15 days.
15 days, okay. So there's quite a lot of breaks there. And okay. And as someone who lives in the local area, what do you enjoy doing with your time off from work? From time off from being a teacher, what do you love to do in the area?
I love Akbük here. Do you know?
Yes, I do know Akbük, yeah.
It's very quiet. It's very, very, very calming. And we go there sometimes. Well, I like nature, so that's why we go there. And in Didim, I try not to go to Altınkum in summer, I'm sorry. It's too crowded for me because I live here all the time and it's too crowded. But I go Apollon.
Apollon Temple?
Temple,
yeah.
And I think that's all.
Yeah.
And some of the local pubs here.
Lovely. Yeah, people have said in the summer there are a lot of people who avoid that impact of all the tourists, because we've said it literally. We experience 10 times the amount of people as we normally do. So I'm curious. Are you a cook? Do you enjoy food? Do you cook Turkish food? What's your favorite Turkish dish? Favorite Turkish meal?
Well, I don't cook very well.
Okay.
But I enjoy çökertme kebabı.
Do
you know?
What is that? What is that? You're gonna have to explain.
It's something that my boyfriend does very well.
Okay.
It has meatballs, yogurt, some tomato sauce,
Okay.
some garlic. It's something different, but I really enjoy it.
Nice. Can I say I'm a bit addicted to kelle pacha.
Oh, really?
There's a place that is amazing, and I go at least 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. Not one for the vegetarians or vegans out there, but and I'll let people try and find what it's made up. But it's not for the faint-hearted. I have cooked it myself actually once, and it's like 6 or 8 hours of boiling and
really?
And it was good. But yeah, I do love Turkish cuisine for sure. Well, just to kind of finish up here, I think if people are watching this with any kind of questions, or whether they're thinking of moving to the country, looking at the educational system, and looking to come and visit the school for their children, what can you kind of advise about the school? About them coming and visiting. I mean, what does that look like for parents coming and visiting for the first time? And are they shown around the school? What does that look like as a new parent coming to see the school as a potential place for their child's education?
Of course, we show around the school. Well, we have long hours of explaining the things going on here. And we try to present a welcoming environment for the children. That's all.
Do you have open days? Like in England, schools have open days where they will kind of encourage a lot of people to come in and show what they do and how they do it. Does that happen in Turkey at all?
What do you mean?
So in England, they'll have like once a year where they class it as an open day, and the whole school will be open, and parents and children will visit the school. Certainly secondary school, I know that's really big. You know, children moving from junior school to secondary school, because there's often 2 or 3 options of secondary school. So you will have children and parents visit the school to then see and experience what the school does, what it looks like. Is that a thing in Turkey, or?
Well, of course, we have many ceremonies.
Right.
Actually, now you can see some of our parents here because we have, I don't know how to say it, but we have our first graders reading presentation because they learned how to read.
Right, so they kind of put on a performance as a showcase.
Yes. And now they're here to watch it.
Perfect. I did wonder. I saw a lot of parents about. Well, Ecem, thank you very much for joining me today. You have now officially got your first podcast out of the way.
Yes, I did.
You did really well. Thank you so much. As I said, we've had lots of interest in education within Turkey, what that looks like from a student's point of view, a parent's point of view, and most importantly, all from a teacher's perspective like yourself. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed our podcast today. Cheers. Thank you.